Hey there, fellow Vikings, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to ASKA, episode 31, Stronger Walls and a Guard Tower. At the start of the stream, I am going to be preparing for the invasion, and what that means is trying to get our defenses up and better, trying to get arms and armor for our warriors a little higher quality, and then possibly also building a watchtower or guard tower. And I think what I'm going to do is the guard tower is the upgraded version of the watchtower. And I'm just going to go straight to the guard tower. Now, we already know that the invasion attack vector is the winter invasion portal to our southeast, which would be this direction here. So we know the enemies are coming in that direction. And I think it stands to reason we ought to build a guard tower overwatching in that direction so that the archers of our village can have some sort of advantage. And it seems like there's a nice little nook here that I could build it on. So I think what I'm going to do, and it's going to look a little weird because I have to flatten the terrain here, but I'm going to flatten the terrain a little bit more and then put the watchtower in this spot. I'm also trying to plan, so all of the warriors that we have right now have nice two-handed weapons that we crafted last stream. And what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to maybe level up my crafting skill a little bit higher so that our warriors can benefit from a new tier of crafting that they get access to. I don't think it's all that reasonable to try to get to crafting level 49 in order to get access to the new tier, but it doesn't hurt to try. And in the process of attempting to do that, my plan was to my plan was to craft better winter clothing for all of our villagers that are because right now it is autumn and we're heading into winter. So in the process of crafting better clothing, they're going to benefit from, you know, the added warmth, so that there's a benefit for both of us. Alright, so this area has gotten flattened out a little bit. I'm just going to smooth it a little bit more so that it's not such a severe slope that might trap us when we're defending. And then we are going to try to put down a watchtower. I also think it probably stands to reason cutting down all the trees that are immediately outside of the watchtower so that the watchtower guard can actually shoot at stuff. Because I don't think it really helps to have a watchtower watching the tops of trees. So there is the start of the watchtower. And I'm hoping not to have to intervene and help out the carpenters so much, but if I have to, I have to. And, Cizeron and Cowley, thank you for the resubs, and cheers! I'm going to be making quite the timber mess here. Cutting all the trees that, you know, kind of block our line of sight. And it's unfortunate that I don't have any good projects for this timber. The best project, in my opinion, for timber like this is to build, you know, walls. Because obviously the walls take a lot of the logs and the long sticks. But I already have a set of walls, so it's not like I need another set of walls. 2 sets of walls will just impede our villagers' movement. There was some YouTube comments about maybe layered walls, but one of the things I have found is when you have too many walls in your village, you end up in a situation where village pathing, it gets kind of messed up because they have to walk around the walls. So you don't want like a multi-layered fortress for that reason. I mean, you can do it, but your villagers might end up suffering from movement impediment. And that's not something I'm hoping to do. Oh, and I missed a dog treat. Once we get the guard tower, and one of the other reasons to build a guard tower is it's one of the buildings that I hadn't built yet, so I wanted to build it for the novelty as well. But once we have the guard tower, I can consider building some of the other infrastructure projects, and also potentially upgrade some of the immediate walls that face the southeast. So, I'm going to queue up the walls that are most likely to come under attack to become plank-tiered walls instead of hedge-tier. Which also means that I'm going to need to forge a whole lot of nails as a result. Because I think, you know, I'm really the only one in the colony that is making blacksmithing nails. So we have 6 days for the invasion. That should be plenty of time to reinforce the section that faces the threat most. It's also important to upgrade the gate as well. So we're gonna have a village gate. And I think the walls that I've queued up are probably the most important ones to get upgraded. So I'm gonna leave it at that. If I could operate a gate properly. That's kind of funny. Okay, cool. So the current priority right now is build a guard tower and upgrade some walls. And my responsibility is going to be to forge nails for that project. So let's see. We've got... I'm going to drop off some iron in the iron storage. What is your issue? You just need more metal. Okay. That's not really a problem of mine. A knife blade. So that's probably a draw knife that broke. I don't know why they left it on the ground, but I can fix it all the same. Oh, and cheers again. So after I fix some of the basic tools, I'll get to work. Oh man, there's no sticks anywhere. I'll get to work getting our nails for our walls crafted. Now, I will say, if you're wondering, and I'm sure some of you were, the amount of preparation for defenses that I'm making is honestly a bit overkill. In my opinion, I don't think the threat is going to be as great as our defenses would make it seem. But it's still fun to, like, build a whole bunch of defenses anyway. A well-defended village is its own benefit to some degree or another. Alright, so there's the draw knife that broke. There's a iron plate there. And then what I was hoping to do is to see blooms in the ore storage, but there aren't any. Which indicate to me that that our mine worker is not working the mines, or I furloughed him and forgot, or something. Oh, there is 4 blooms here. I'll fire these up, and that will be that'll be 16 nails, which is a good start on what we need. Boy, you guys are making a big old mess. Not sure where they're dropping coal on the ground. Oh, they're working another bloom. Okay, cool. Alright, yeah, there's plenty of materials here now. I was just too impatient. So is there anything else that you, chat, would want me to see made prior to the invasion? I was considering the upgraded kitchen. At some point, it might make sense for me to try to manage the access, to restrict access to, like, things like onions, so that I can use onions or garlic as healing items. Because what I've been doing up until now is just, like, letting people eat whatever they wanted to eat, but the problem is if they're eating the items that are relied upon for eating, well, then they're not available during fights, which could be a bit of a net negative for me. So that might be something I want to manage as well. Alright, so those are the nails we need. Apparently, nails had already gotten delivered to the guard post, though. Because I can see that the settlement issues doesn't have the guard tower lacking nails at the moment. Are traps anything that I can make pre-battle? So you can, the only traps that exist right now are spikes on the walls. But, the issue with spikes on the walls is, they require large stone, which is kind of annoying to acquire in large quantities. So I can add spikes for defenses, like I did here. These, like, cavalry spikes. But I don't really think it's worth it. Is really what it comes down to. Which is why I haven't. So let's finish off the project. So it needs some posts. And I'm curious if we even have posts in stock. We've got beams. Where was I supposed to be keeping posts? No, don't do that. I think the posts are supposed to be in here and they're not. Because we have planks here, but no posts there. So we're out of posts. I think it might benefit me to, like, maybe clean up the carpentry a little bit, because it is ridiculously trashed right now. So I'm putting all my tools away, gonna have a quick rest, and then I will clean up the carpentry and then make the posts required. It's probably the posts aren't being made right now because of a priority issue, that they're making other things first. So that's easily solved. And I had meant to drop off these sticks. Good God. So we're in a, once again, we're in a situation where the bark storage is almost certainly full. Oh, look, another draw knife. Which is why the bark's not being picked up and put away. It's because there's no room for it anywhere. Alright, let's fix this draw knife so that the carpenters can keep doing their work. I'm not going to put away for them, though. They can come find it. No, don't stop midway. Wait, what are you doing? You just dropped a whole bunch of... Oh! The bloom storage is full as hell. Oh, I get it. I thought we were out of iron blooms, but we're not even close to being out of iron blooms. We have so many iron blooms, there's nowhere to even put additional iron blooms without the warehouse person putting it into the stockpile over there. Oh, okay. So they're backed up due to success, not laziness. I like to hear that. A sort of, sir, there's no room in the warehouse anymore for the, your crafts because, we've been too busy. We've been too productive. Part of the problem is I'm not actually actively using the iron to make tools. Like, I don't have a crafting queue for, the NPCs. But I ought to probably make, like, some iron, basic iron tools at some point. I think the defensive stuff comes first, however, which is why I'm prioritizing guard towers and walls. But afterwards, we can, try to get everyone up to iron tools, because they're way easier to maintain. Alright, we're almost tidied up, though. The multiple pickup that the player has control over is so much more efficient than the one-at-a-time method the NPCs are stuck with. So if I don't want to mess... Oh, yeah, we can make beams. If I don't want to miss going forwards, grabbing some of the bark from the storage here and processing it will get ahead of the mess. So I'll try to empty out that stockpile. I'll pick up like 40 bark from that stockpile, so we don't end up having even more bark strewn about. I'll process it all. It's easy enough. So apart from the guard tower, and I had mentioned this before, but archers, in my opinion, archers are kind of hit or miss. Sometimes they're really, oh, what the hell? Sometimes they're really helpful in that they like god snipe everything, and then sometimes they get caught out in the open when they're not like posted on the tower or whatever, and then they're a detriment because they just get wrecked. And it's there's like not much in between those two extremes in my experience, which is one of the reasons why I was planning on only having melee militia. But if I have enough melee militia and I still put someone up, bear attack. One moment. I would very much like to have a rematch. The last time we fought a bear, it nearly did me in. This time will be different. Hey, big doofus, get over here. Come on, you want to fight? Bye, big doofus. Thank you for your pelt. Went a little bit differently, didn't it? You may have noticed, the last time I fought a bear, it like nearly one-shot me. This time, I was wearing proper armor, and it didn't do oh god. It didn't do very much at all as a result of wearing proper armor, because my armor mitigated most of his damage, meaning he was a big old pushover. He barely even scratched me. And that's why I value high-level armor far more than I do shields. Shields are great, but they break too quick, in my opinion. So that's why I don't bother using them. I just have high-level armor, and I face tank everything, and it doesn't seem to matter much. Okay, well, the good news is we have the bear pelt. And this bear pelt that I picked up off the bear, the heavy pelt, can be tanned into one of the nicest capes in the game, which I'm game for. Okay, back to what I was doing. Who has access to my cart? You are blacklisted for everyone. Ha ha ha. Alright, so I'm planning on getting some 5 logs, heavy or hardwood logs, so that I can finish the post myself, because honestly, the villagers that I put in charge of building the defenses don't seem to be fulfilling the orders urgently. It also looks like we've kind of clear-cut most of the hardwood around us. There's a little bit of hardwood forest up this way. But the reason I mention that is it might be wise for me to start to consider foresting. Because at some point, we're going to run out of hardwoods around our base. And unless I'm replanting the forests, getting new hardwoods is going to suck. So if you open up your mini-map here, you can tell the difference. The pointy is obviously pine, or fir, rather. And then this is birch. So putting the birch trees back where the birch trees should be, you know, might be helpful. It's not that high up on my list of things to do, because this is going to be the last stream of this game, so I don't need to think about the, like, long-term viability of this village like I would if I was to continue to stream this. But I think it is reasonable to replace what you cut. Anyway, so I might just build a forester to show you the game mechanics of the forester. The only worry that I have is if I do build a forester, it might not fit within the walls that I have laid out in the village right now, because I built palisade walls around everything and didn't leave room for a lot of structures to be built within the remaining walls. But I'll see if I can make it fit. Time will tell. Alright, so I need 2 more hardwood logs. I haven't pinned any of the plank walls either. So likely there's going to be a lot of carpentry required for the plank walls too. That's just something I'll have to worry about, you know, afterwards. I don't think it's necessarily mission critical to get the plank walls up and going. If I don't get them, I'm sure we're going to survive the invasion anyway. It just would be nice to have. They look much nicer than the hedge stuff anyway. So woodcutters are supposed to remove stumps for now, but yours still splits logs for stumps? Is there something you're missing? No. There isn't anything you're missing. What you might end up having to do is, build a warehouse for your logs, but don't give the carpenter access to the warehouse. So the carpenter can't use the warehouse's logs for, firewood, and then the woodcutters will then have to cut up the stumps for firewood instead. So it might just be like a permissions thing. That would be my best guess. But yeah, that's sort of how they work, is like, they will, if firewood is the highest priority, they'll cut up anything that can become firewood, which is really unproductive when you want the logs more than the firewood. But the game doesn't really explicitly explain the permissions, which is why it's tricky to figure out why you're lacking timber, you know, because your NPCs were like chopping it all up for no reason. That might have been the last of the hardwood nearby. I mean, there's still hardwood a little bit further out this way, and this way. And then lots of it around here, near the hunting marker to the west. So it's not like I'm going to be, like, out completely. What it is, if we want to do a lot more hardwood construction, it is a bit of a concern running as low as I have. So I'm planning to make the 5 posts myself. And then, once I'm done, I can whitelist... Don't touch that. No, you freaking stop. Then once I'm done, I will allow my... Oh, you cut right in front of me. I was gonna say, I'll allow the carpenter's access to all the other wood in here, but I think what I'll do is, I'll put the hardwood sticks away myself. That way, I don't have to give them specific permissions. Apparently I only need 4 posts now. They already delivered one. The warehouse route is what you're doing now, but you feel like this should be... stop taking my stuff. They should prioritize the stumps. Yeah, I don't... maybe like a Google search or the Steam forum search will yield you better results. I don't know off the top of my head if there's a way to, like, have them only do stumps. Because stumps isn't like a woodcutter hut's... thing that you can give them access to, specifically, like you can with hardwood and softwood trees. You can't just be like, only do stumps. So, I don't know. It's too bad the, like, charcoal maker can't do it themselves, if given an axe. That would be a neat feature, is to have whoever runs your charcoal pit run around de-stumping, or removing all the stumps and turning it into charcoal. That'd be great. No, stop it. Oh my god, they keep trying to collect my, my posts. Oh, Z Martian. I'm glad you're enjoying the old content. I hope you find something, more recent to enjoy as well. The series I have going on right now is another, like, super cold biome series as well, if it interests you. The, Frost Warden series. So here's the guard tower. You can climb up and keep watch yourself if you want. And then the guard tower also has upgrade tiers. So if you open up the guard tower menu, you can add a roof to increase tower durability and add a guard tower horn to allow the tower to rally militia and wake up the villagers during an attack. And I intend to build both. I want to get down. I just realized when you have an upgrading queue, the hitbox to get down was a little, precarious. Alright, these guys should probably... 33, 41, 37. I'll leave them to it. They might be maxed out now. The maxing out, I think, it depends upon your, native proficiency. So it's not a preset number. If you have higher proficiency, you'll max out at a higher amount, which is kind of nice. And then it looks to me like most of these require... Well, some of them require long sticks. Which is convenient, because I have tons of long sticks everywhere. I kind of lither them around as I cleared the forest. So I'll do some of the heavy lifting myself, delivering the long sticks, and then it looks like the rest of it is like posts and nails. So I might need to do another batch of nails, which is fine, because we have so many blooms ready, as we already established. I hadn't realized we had all those blooms sitting there in the box. But one might imagine that the wall that I'm building now, this plank wall, so this is the plank tier wall, and as you can see, it has 1,800 hit points, up from the 700 of the hedge wall, so it's much sturdier. And it still also, just like the hedge wall, can benefit from spikes, from like cavalry spikes. So I don't intend to build too many cavalry spikes, because the amount of large stone it requires sucks, but I built some of them at least. I'm also out of my chieftain hut stamina bonus, which I should go rest a second, get that back. And make myself a really nice cape. So there's a few missing... Oh, these are hardwood sticks. There's a few wall segments that are still missing. It's regular long stick material, but that's got to be good enough for now. Let's go ahead and make the cape before I forget. So the cured heavy pelt, you need a tier 2 leatherworker for. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the only recipe that uses it is the heavy pelt. Is the heavy pelt cape. So, you know, it's the only thing you can really do with it. And this requires 10 threads. And it doesn't have a... Well, if it does have a crafting level requirement associated, I've met that requirement already. So I can't remember off the top of my head if it has one or not. But bada bing, bada boom. And now I'll look very woolen, let's say. I look like I'm straight out of Game of Thrones or something. And I'll put my old cape away so that someone else can wear it. So as far as all the armor that I have access to, I pretty much am wearing the best stuff because I don't have crafting level 49 yet, so I can't get like the pauldrons and the better gambeson or anything like that. I'll have to level up a bit. Let's go ahead and pin the guard tower's upgrades, because I would prefer to upgrade the guard tower over the regular walls too, in terms of priority. Farmer, did you break your rake? Yes. Alright, so I was about to go make some more nails, but I think I'll also make an iron rake for the farmer, because there's been plenty of times where the game's like, hey, you need to make rakes for farming, so get to it. That'll save him the effort. So a rake, let's take a look. Requires an iron bar and nails. Cheers. Also seems to me like the guard tower is nearly done. I think it's only waiting on one post. Or beam, rather. So that won't take very long at all. Oops. Alright. Smithing one-handed. Let's see how well I do. Oh, pretty good. And then the remaining 5 ingots will be nails. Now the guard tower on its own doesn't really do anything, but kind of like the hedge tower that I built like many streams ago, if you assign someone to guard there, it gives a radius of protection which quells work and sleep anxiety. So basically your villagers want to sleep and work somewhere safe. And sections that aren't walled in, or sections that are not covered by towers, are deemed unsafe. You can, of course, and this is a newer game mechanic, but if you can surround them by walls to offer them a little bit of protection, but it's way better to, you know, actually have active guards or patrolmen. And Orsa, thanks for all the gifted subs. Holy cow. Cheers. Makes my coffee taste even more sweet. So there's a bunch of different ways to keep your villagers happy. But one labor-intensive way is to have patrolmen. To have your guards patrol the grounds, and then everything within their guard path will then, as long as they're actively guarding, will then be deemed as, like, quote-unquote safe. I prefer just to do the more passive approach of, like, walls. But you can also, of course, do towers and the like. If they delivered everything, why didn't they build this? And why isn't it green? Oh, I must not have pinned the right thing. Because, yeah, this guard tower is nowhere near being done. The other one I wanted to pin over here was the village gate. And while I'm holding all the nails that I just smithed, I'll start delivering nails to these walls as well. How many more nails do I have? Only 2? I might have underestimated how many nails I need to make. Cause... oh, we have 26 in inventory. Never mind. I think we'll be alright. How do I cope with the sound the runestone makes? I can't say I even noticed. I know that's not much of an answer, but like... I guess it doesn't bother me at all. To the point where I didn't even know it made noise. Or not an annoying enough noise. All right, and I hadn't forgotten, I am in the process of making a rake. What are you doing? More space for these iron blooms. What? Wait, hold still. Your inventory is empty. What do you... Oh, you mean over here. I think our warehouse worker is backed up and has had too many tasks to move the iron blooms to the iron bloom storage. That makes sense. Okay. I need to grab one nail from the other storage to make the rakes. But honestly, I might as well take all the nails, because I'll be the one to deliver them to the fence posts. Turtle. Hand-delivered rake from yours truly. You're welcome. Now I want to see you work now. Not a free gift. So I think all these walls need left, there's a few that need long sticks, but most of them just need beams and planks, which is pretty easy to deliver. So I'll grab my cart and get that going. Oh, my cart's in the walls. There it is. So I believe I needed 10 shafts. And then 5 beams. And 11 planks. Probably a little easier if I could pull it up in here. I'm just a little worried that my cart will, like, get stuck in the warehouse and I'll have to, like, break something to get it out. But we'll cross that bridge if I ever get there. Oh, sweet. And they're starting to stockpile posts now, too. There's 4 posts in this warehouse ready to go. We also need 2 posts. I might end up filling this cart. How? It's already full, isn't it? Alright, we'll come back for more later. Now, the only problem I'm going to have is, I think, some of these... Oh, I can reach it from here? Wait, hold on. No, that's deposited in there. Because some of the supplies I need to deliver is to the top of the tower, but I don't really want to have to climb all the way up every time. I'm going to see what I can do from down here. I'm going to get rid of... Oh, this is the guard tower. Never mind, I supplied the basket with the roof materials. So there were 2 baskets down here, one for each project, I think. So there's the roof. Oh, you know, it's done. Sorry, I misinterpreted. So yeah, both the guard tower roof and the guard tower horn are done. The other project is the gate that I had pinned. I somehow completely forgot. So question to you guys. What do you want me to build next? I'll propose some variety of projects, and you can just pick your favorite of the on the polls. So I'll type them up in just a second. So some options. We could do a cookhouse tier 2. This thing could be upgraded to a tier 2 cookhouse, which adds a cob stove and a wider variety of recipes to make. Cookhouse tier 2. Another option is to build the forester, which will allow us to regrow some of the forest that we've cut down. I'm going to ignore beauty pit and metal parts collector. I don't think I really need those. I think I only have a tier 1 farm, so we could also do tier 2 farm, which increases the different things that we can grow and put more people in the farm if we want. What else is there? Upgraded gatherers. So an upgraded mine or upgraded stone cutter, something like that. It's a less of a sexy project. Or alternatively, just focus on crafting skill. Instead of actually queuing up building projects, because I'm sure my builders and carpenters are going to have to resupply the wall or supply the walls with the materials that the walls are missing. I could just focus on getting my crafting skill up, which potentially will open up some armor tier for me to have access to, if that's what I focus on. And have myself a little resty poo. So we have 4 days until the invasion. I think it's, I thought the invasion was going to come last stream, but it's definitely coming this stream. So that's good. Thank you for tuning in to ASKA, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind I'm trying to avoid spoilers. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream of mine. Farewell, my fellow Vikings.